What's going on, friends, followers, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube and Twitter and Instagram and wherever you're coming from of all walks of life? Thank you so much for stopping by my channel and checking out the nonsense that I put on here. Hopefully it's a little crisper and clearer today as we got some screencast software going finally and a headset so you can hear me a little better. And this video is a little late in the making. I promised it yesterday, but we're getting to it today. This is Super Star Wars for the SNES. As always, if you like any of this stuff, please give me a like, subscribe, and share, and I'll happily return the favor on any social media that you're on, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, whatever it is. Holler at me. I'll follow you. I'll give you a big thumbs up and comment. Anything you need, just give me a shout out and I'll be happy to holler back at you. Thank you so much again, and let's just dive right in. This one is Super Star Wars, and I'm playing it on the SNES here. Obviously not on an actual SNES, this is emulation, but still SNES version. And I never beat it as a kid, so this ain't going to be a full review as much as just some gameplay and show you what the game looks like for those of you that may have not played it way back when. I know I played it probably when I was around 13. I missed it when I was younger, even though I was a huge Star Wars fan. Somehow this one eluded me. My local brick and mortar store didn't have it, so got to it later. And while it's a cool game, it has its problems. Because when you're a kid and you're thinking of Star Wars, you want to be swinging lightsabers and fighting Darth Vader and flying the X-Wing. But when you start this one, obviously the setting's right, as you can see, as we're Luke, we're on Tatooine, but we're fighting red scorpions and flying birds that look like sand people with a tarp wrapped around them. Not exactly capturing the essence of Star Wars. Starting off, still pretty good controls as far as the blaster controls. With Luke here, you've got a special move. You can switch your weapons. We can't yet because we don't have one. But you can jump. You can do a neat little, if I can get him to do it again, you got to flip and slide. You got all kinds of cool little moves to navigate. The problem I have early on in this game is the enemies just repeat endlessly and endlessly and endlessly, and it's cheap. And if you don't play this on easy, you're probably going to die a lot. Even on easy, you're going to die a lot. I'll say the graphics are pretty dang good, though. For a Super Nintendo game, it's crisp. Luke's, I mean, you can tell it's Luke. You can't expect a whole lot. You're not going to get polygons back then, but pretty cool nonetheless. And we'll run through this first level here. As you can see, the enemies just keep appearing and appearing out of nowhere, no matter what you do. I don't know where these guys fit in with film lore. There's another little issue I have. You have aliens and enemies that you'll never see in the movies. Maybe they're in the comics. I don't know. I didn't read all the books back then. But it's not a bad game. It's just cheap in ways where the enemies will repeat. You get some good upgrades to your weapons, though. Like I'm getting a blaster upgrade here. Get a wider radius of fire on it. But you see these guys, no matter what you do, they're just going to they'll keep flying into you. But moving on, if you get past this game, there's some cool levels in it. You even do the trench run. They use the Mode 7 effects in the second level where you have a quasi 3D level. Sorry, I cannot talk. And my dog apparently wants to squeaky ball in the background. If you can hear that, he wants to chime in. He's a Star Wars fan too. Anyway, level 2 here, if we can get to it, you'll see the Mode 7 effects. You get to drive the speeder as Luke and 3PO, which was my biggest memory as a kid, because you go from this side-scrolling type graphics here to actual 3D graphics, and it was the first game that I had ever seen it on. I hadn't seen Star Fox yet up to that point. And so it was really cool. It kind of blew you away that you're driving the speeder, and it looks 3D, and it looked really awesome back in the day. Now not so much, but then it was still mind-blowing that they did that. And they also pull off the trench run and some space battles using the same effects later on in the game. And those are my favorite parts. But otherwise, the side-scrolling, the shooting, it's okay, but the cheap enemies here kind of ruin it for you. Once you get the lightsaber, it's really fun. It don't really help the enemies that much. Here we go to our first boss here, which is a Sarlacc monster. We got it on easy here just so we can plow through this level. And so I can show you the next one. That's all I want to show you, really. Because once you see the next level, you kind of see the whole layout of the stages for the whole game as far as side-scrolling and then the Mode 7 3D effects. But For our first Star Wars game on Super Nintendo, this was pretty dang cool, man. I gotta say, I like it. Um, it's not perfect, but for the time that it released in, it was an awesome game. And you definitely gotta have it if you're a Star Wars fan. You gotta have it in the collection, no matter what. You gotta have it on that shelf. Even if you're not a Star Wars fan, you're just collecting games. Pick it up. It's probably dirt cheap, and add it to that collection. You can see our score here. Obviously, we're on easy, so not much to brag about. And we're gonna move on to what I keep harping on, my favorite part of this game right here. And by today's standards, it don't look that great, but this was mind-blowing to my 13-year-old self. As you can drive around, you got your blaster controls. You got to shoot the enemies here, but we can go in any direction we want. Shoot bad guys, and just cool stuff. This was really cool for my younger self, and I still appreciate it today, even though obviously it hasn't aged that well. I'm not a big stickler on graphics, and I really appreciate games like this that pulled this off back in the day. And as we die here, that's probably where we're going to wrap it up. Just wanted to show the game off. So, and again, if you hadn't got it, pick it up. You can probably find it at a brick and mortar store for around $5. Check out GameStop online. They have an awesome retro section. I know I don't like GameStop either any more than anybody else, but the retro prices are pretty decent as far as games go. So definitely check it out. Thank you guys so much for stopping by again. Appreciate y'all, and please subscribe, and I'll always return the favor. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.